There's a story here locally in Roanoke about this beautiful little girl, 10-year-old girl who committed died by suicide. Her name was Autumn, and it's just a horrific story, and it's getting some attention as it should, and it compelled me to talk about something that I don't talk about a lot, for a couple of different reasons. One, it's one of my um, most shameful things. Two, it involves things that aren't really my story to tell. Um, but it's this idea of bullying and the impact that it has. And so my perspective is that I was a bully to people um, growing up, and um, I was someone who saw weakness easily, and illuminated it, pointed it out, made fun of it, and I did it to feel better, and I did it to um, exert power. And the context, not the excuse, the context is that I was in a situation where I was, this is where I can't be completely transparent, which is something I want to be, but it's not my story. There's others, people involved, but I was in a situation where I did not have power. And I did not have control. And so it's kind of this, is this, and I was in a tremendous amount of pain, and I didn't recognize it at pain at that point. I just knew that I didn't feel great about who I was, and I didn't want to face that, and I knew that the life I had wasn't wonderful, and Lucy can feel how I'm feeling. Um, so so I used that and took that against kids my age, and so because I was so weak, I saw weakness, right? That's how I saw it, because I was this empty shell. There were a couple of kids who I really took it out on, and I just knew if at any point they chose to push back, I'd crumble. I would. This was all just a facade. It was such a facade. It was just a classic story of all bark and no bite. There was nothing to back it up. Nothing. It was all bravado. There was one kid in particular who I really gave a hard time to, um, and at one point he would ask me, like, why do you hate me? And I didn't have an answer for him, because I didn't hate him. I hated me. Um, but at one point, God, what a good person this was. Um, we were on the bus and going to school, and I was doing what I did. I was, being aggressive and bullying, and and he pushed back, and it occurred to me like, oh, wait a minute, like this, like I got nothing here. You know what's fascinating about him is that I played football for like a year in fifth grade, uh, and he practiced against me, and I was a offensive lineman, very offensive. But I was what they call a husky kid, so I was left guard, and so I was trying to block him from the quarterback, and he beat me every time. Every time he was stronger than me, he was faster than me, he was just better than me every time, and I was supposed to be like this this cool in charge, and you know what he did? Never spoke about it. Never brought it up. Never mentioned it. I mean, this kid was the real deal. I mean, he was just as good as could be. He, but, whew, um, you know. So I say all that to not to the bullying is we think about often, as we should, the people that are being bullied, but it is, I think, important to also take note of why someone would choose to do that, or why someone is doing that, and what's going on there. Um, I'm not a mean person. I've devoted my whole life to helping people. It's all I've ever wanted to do. But my goodness, was I cruel. And it was a reaction. It was a reaction to cruelties that were happening. But I took it out on people. And it wasn't, I did what I did. I didn't know. I'm not going to make any excuses or any justifications for it. It was, and it's really tough. It's really tough to talk about, because, especially when something like this comes up, and this, so one of the differences, right, is that at least when I was growing up, the bullying stopped when I got home, he got home. Well, other nightmares began, and for some of us, but. Like now, and this is what this article talks about. It's like it starts sometimes when these kids are getting home. It's all the time. It's 24/7. It's brutal. The cyberbullying is so impactful. So I just wanted to. I just felt compelled after hearing this story of this beautiful young girl whose life was taken. Not only to speak about what a dangerous thing this connection, this lack of social connection can be that we think is connection, but also to always try to look at all sides, right? It's easy. It's really easy to say, oh, that's mean, and look at what you've done, but maybe take a look at, well, why would someone be doing that? What might be going on there, right? Why all of a sudden is someone acting out, not doing well, being cruel? What might that be a reaction to something? Well, so just a thought, if that's helpful at all.